because we were talking and there was a lot of questions that really you could have answered.
Got in a little wrestle with a Saudi gorilla on the way in. No, go on. What are you saying?
Did you have 100 men with you?
I had 100 men, yeah. 100
men or the silverback gorilla? A gorilla wins, yeah.
Okay. I was just telling Eddie about...
I haven't thought too much about that. Okay. But it's a weird question. I think it's really strange, like
it's a strange
social
world
thing.
But that's a now thing.
It's a strange thing in general, yeah. It doesn't make sense at all. Anyway, whatever.
A lot of things in this world don't make sense.
Wind things up, yeah.
I'm just telling Eddie about our interview earlier, and I asked about the rematch, etc., about the terms that you guys had signed for. So I'll repeat what you said. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, I can't be arsed with this.
So you don't... Can I just repeat what you said? I've already repeated it to him anyway.
But what I've also said to you is we've got separate contracts.
We've got separate contracts.
So
there was one, yeah.
Our contract is binding, but there is a second fight on the same terms as the first fight. Now, if their contract is different to our contract, that's something to bring up with the people they signed it with.
Yeah.
So I don't think... Honestly,
you have got a full contract, proper contract.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I have.
No, but obviously there's heads of terms and then there's full
we have
papered everything.
Full papered rematch on the same terms. I don't think that any of us expected those terms to change, but obviously if it's been difficult for Chris and the weight was difficult for Chris, that's something for their side to look at. We know what we agreed, and one of the reasons we took the fight was because we had the two fights.
The middleweight limit is absolutely fine. All I said was the rehydration is probably something that we would all sit down as...
Yeah, I'm not looking to get into an argument with you, but what I will say is he turned up in his full Rascal Louis Vuitton jacket, right, and clothes when he stood on the
I didn't see you. Okay.
when he stood on the scales,
yeah.
And he was still half a pound under with all his clothes on. He was not tight in the hydration. Oh, you were making a statement.
Yeah, we were making a statement.
Oh, so you came in 8 pounds over, but you wanted to wear all your clothes. Anyway,
the scales
I just think they ballsed the 160 up.
We'll see, won't we? We're not announced anything. We don't know what's going to happen.
It's been
Is it
tonight.
It's Chris here.
No, they're announcing
Seniors.
He's already announced it, His Excellency.
Yeah.
September 27th.
Seniors there in the cupboard.
In his fancy dress.
Yeah.
Can I just point out something else as well about the broken jaw narrative? Eddie said that's absolutely...
Why did you come up with that?
Because the media said we believe, this is what they said, we believe Chris Eubank has gone to the hospital with a broken jaw. If you look at the picture of his face...
I thought it was you.
No, he had a depleted cheekbone. Look at the pictures, I'll show you.
That was because of something that... Anyway.
Because of what?
Are you referring to the headbutt that Chris Eubank said?
No. It was something that I mentioned to Eddie the night before. But anyway, we'll talk about that.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
As far as he's concerned, Hearn's concerned,
yeah,
they want the rematch in September. Do you share that same sentiment?
It's not up to me, it's up to Chris. He's obviously on cloud 9 right now and he's the top of the world and everyone wants to fight him. Of course it's massive, isn't it? But it's up to Chris, you know. He's at a stage of his career where he'll make the decisions.
You made a statement that said Chris Eubank now is the biggest star in UK boxing. You stand by that?
He is. Listen, right now in terms of who's hot and who's fighting. Just wait. No, I'm not. Just let me fucking finish. Let me fucking finish. Right? Let me finish. No. I don't want advice. I want to finish. I want to finish.
I feel like I'm
No. Listen. No. I want to finish what I'm saying.
Just double
I want to finish what I'm saying. No, I'm doing it because I can feel him. I can feel him doing what he wants to say. What I'm saying is, I think in terms of active fighters, he's the biggest star in the UK right now. 100%.
You should just double down.
It is true. It is. He is. Obviously, he's going to start coming up with that.
I think you got like obviously AJ's still active, massive name. Fury, whatever. Conor Benn in it. I mean, he's also.
See, that's where it's.
What are you talking about? You should have seen him last week in America. Absolutely mobbed.
Absolutely mobbed. You know, it's like It's like one of those David Brent sketches where he walks into a crowd and starts complaining that he was mobbed of boxing fans, and he's like, and taking pictures that he's being mobbed.
Yeah, but in America, like how many people travelled to go and watch that show from the UK? I mean, there's a lot of Americans.
Listen, he's made a name because he's fought Eubank. It happens to most fighters when they fight Eubank.
Yeah, especially Karim Zerameta.
Listen, apparently
No,
he's getting
and
mobbed
Tony
in
Jetta
Poland right
as
now.
well.
Zerameta's
Wow,
not been
it's just
in
changed his life forever.
Zerameta's been literally moving
really big
mad.
in
He
Poland.
can't move.
Okay. Let's wind this down now. Okay, so there's a good possibility we may see this rematch, but then you don't know on Chris's side whether that's what he's going for.
It's early days, isn't it? And timelines and loads of things might happen. Obviously, the Canelo fight is the big goal for Chris Eubank Jr.
Would you put him in there, would you?
Come on. That was 60% of Chris, and he still came through against Conor Benn.
60%. Why was it 60%?
Because of things that happened in his camp, nothing to do with the weight.
I thought he had a great camp.
Before the fight, we're going to
Before
say
the fight,
that.
he had a great camp.
Before the fight, why do you leave it there when I'm talking to him? Why do you do that?
Yeah.
Right.
One mic, all right.
Right, so when I talk, move the mic to my mouth, and then when
What
you
he's
talk,
trying to say is
What
before
I'm
the
saying is,
fight, the
of
camp
course,
was
we're not going to
unbelievable.
say, oh, think problems happen in the camp before a fight. There were huge problems in the camp. Most fighters that I know would have never got in the ring going through what Chris did in that.
Conor Benn had the worst
alright to
camp.
go through it?
Yeah. Conor Benn had the
didn't.
worst. No, honestly, worst camp of his
All
life.
you went on was about the camp.
That's what I just said to you.
Oh,
And you
come on.
said,
I never talked about Chris's camp.
He's
No, I
unbelievable
didn't.
shape.
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
wow, this guy's ready. Oh, he's
We
in
never
shape
went
of his
through the
life.
camp.
Oh,
He had a-
blah, blah.
He got in the ring. Getting in the ring was an achievement in himself, and he still came through the fight.
How he got in the ring, I never know. No, I mean, unbelievable.
Right, let's move away from this, all right?
Basically, he pretty much had his hand tied behind his back in that night.
We'll see, won't we? We'll see in this next fight.
Is there any other fights that you two are talking about potentially making between Boxer and Matchroom
Adam Azim against Dalton Smith. Yeah.
for this year?
Yeah.
Fisher against Clark.
Possibly. I mean, obviously he's got a big fight coming up against Dave Allen. What else was there? Was there something else?
Trying to think.
Who?
We've not got anyone decent.
Got anyone decent?
We could do Simpson Pacheco.
Yeah, but obviously Diego Pacheco's number one and mandatory to Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, but is that going to happen
And Callum Simpson's
never gonna
fighting
happen.
Ivan Zuko.
for the European? But I'm just saying, what's Pacheco going to do for the rest of the year?
He's fighting Trevor McCumbee. You should know this because it was announced last week. He's on the BAM unification fight at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium on July 19th.
And what's wrong with him fighting Callum after that?
He's not really. Is he world ranked, Callum?
Callum's the best
Where
super
is he?
middleweight we have in the country. It's a good
Where-
UK-US
where
fight. If we
is-
did a matchroom 5v5, who would be on it?
Where is the? Where is he ranked in the world?
Where is he ranked in the world? He's in the top 15 of a couple of governing
With which
bodies.
governing body?
I think I'd have to check, but he's in the couple of
You should
15.
check more often because you should know that off the top of your head.
Listen, he's fighting the European title. That's the next
Yeah,
step. But
Ivan
there's no
Zuko,
reason
good
why
fight.
it is a good fight.
He's a really good fight, the Italian Zuka. I know Ivan Zuka. It's a good fight.
It's a good fight, and he's unbeaten, and it's
very
a
good,
it's a stadium filler. I don't know what stadiums you're doing at the moment.
Just did Tottenham last week.
No,
65.
I did Tottenham.
Oh, you
last
did.
week.
Who was the lead
I
promoter?
invited you.
Who was the
No,
lead?
I was the lead
Really?
promoter. As the
But you got
A-side.
kicked off.
Kicked
Who
off
was the
what?
lead promoter for that fight?
Why were you the lead promoter?
Be ready to get look
Why
very
were you the
silly.
lead
Was
promoter?
I the lead promoter for the
Why
fight?
were you the lead promoter?
Because my name was across everything with the paperwork, with a board, and that was what was
My
instructed to
name
do.
was across everything.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. I don't even
Okay.
want to.
Who was
yes,
the
it
lead
was.
promoter?
Boxer were the lead promoter last
Oh my
week.
God, you've just had a
Who was
stinker.
announced first every
No,
time?
no.
Who was announced
Who
first?
was the
Who
promoter
was
with the
announced
board?
first? This is so petty, but it was
It
our,
is,
it's
'cause
our
what you
show.
do is you're a
right?
stone cold
It was
liar.
our show. Why would we be announced first if you were the
Because
lead
that was
promoter?
what you wanted, because you threw your toys out the pram,
so-
because
so
you
what
wanted to
did-
be the A side.
what did you get
like
as
you
the
do all
lead
the time.
promoter?
If you're not in a
What-
picture,
why were you the lead
this is what
promoter?
you also do. I have
Why
to be
were
in the
you the-
picture. That's what
No,
you asked to go
don't
into
talk
contracts.
about going into pictures, Eddie.
That's what you say.
Don't talk about going
Your
into
man,
pictures.
Jeff Cunningham, goes,
You cannot
we
understand
must have Ben
the
Shalom
reason,
in the photo.
The reason why that ever became a thing, right, is because...
Was it a thing?
every time
Did you ask
our fighters,
did you ask specifically to be in a
specifically Eddie and
Did you
Frank,
ask
no, specifically Eddie and Frank would block me from going on stage with my fighters. That's what happened.
Did you ask
That's what
specifically
happened.
to have a clause in where you had to be in a photo?
Eddie,
Yes or
I
no?
don't want to argue
Yes
with
or
you,
no?
but how can you talk about getting in front
Answer
of a
the
camera
question.
to anyone?
Just answer
To
the question.
anyone.
I've never had in any contract
Anyone.
where I have to be in the photo. Did you have that?
Listen.
Did you have that?
No.
Yeah.
We
What?
said that we had to be able to be on stage with our fighters.
That's the same thing.
Eddie Hearn
No, you
and Frank
said
Warren
he has
tried
to
to
be in the
block me
photo.
from being on stage with my fighters.
You are a card, you are, mate. Honestly, you asked in the contract that you have to be in the photo. That's awful.
We asked that we wouldn't be blocked from our
But
fighters.
you know what you do? You're like, oh, this is just, we just get pushed and pushed out, you know. And it's like, then we get an email from your lawyer saying, if Ben Shalom is not in the photo, it's a breach.
True. See, that's not true.
Really?
He blocked us. Eddie and Frank didn't want us in Saudi.
Okay,
He's
answer the
upset.
question.
He's upset that
Before I
we're
go-
even here. He's
before
upset
I-
that we even have
before
two
I
fights.
go, answer the question.
Eddie, when he talks about people on camera, Eddie's here just for the camera. He's not here for any fighters
here
on the
for the
card.
money,
He
actually.
wasn't here. There's no fighters
I'm
on
here
this
for the-
card that he
yeah, but I'm here
has.
for the money.
There's no fighters that you had last
Get
night.
this.
You're here on the camera.
Last night I was the promoter.
Yeah, but you're here for
Just
the
'cause you didn't-
camera. No, but I'm just
Okay,
saying.
before
So
I go,
don't say
before
that
I go,
to me.
before
I'm
I
just
go,
saying, don't say
before
that
I
to
go,
me.
because
It's
you lied
not right.
about 7 things.
Yeah,
here
but
we
it's
spoke.
not- it's
Okay,
not
answer the
right
question.
to say that.
Did your lawyer say that Ben Shalom must be in the photo? And lies.
No. He said
Lies.
that we had to stand.
Lies.
No,
Lies.
he said that Ben Shalom, when his fighters are up there, has to stand in between fighters
Done.
because.
Just finish it amicably, quickly.
Oh, we are amicable.
No, we are, but he's trying to dig me out.
No, because what you
from
do
a
is
thing
just-
where you try to block. We don't, look at our shows. I don't even stand in between the fighters. I don't think it's ridiculous.
Yes, you do.
But when
You
Eddie,
stand in the front
no,
fighters,
and then
then
I
you
get
go.
out of the way. Then I get
Then
out
you
of the
go.
way, and then see, he's been
too.
watching.
You're
And then
a
Eddie and
Chief
Frank,
Waffler,
and then
you are.
Eddie and Frank
Addy, he works for design.
wanted to block me, and so of course we're gonna stop that.
What I'm saying is in your contract you have in there that Ben Shalom has to be in a photo, which I think is wild.
No, that's not
Wild.
right. That's the photo is not
Okay,
right.
all right. Let's wrap this up.
I can't believe you turned it off. You dickhead.
And
everything
Eubank,
that you
and
do.
Eubank was 60%.
He was 60%.
I don't know how he got in the ring.
Let's wrap this up. Ben Shalom, much
Pissed off
appreciated.
now. I'm pissed off
should
because you
sue me
talk.
because
I
if
will
I'm
sue
wrong,
you.
if I'm wrong,
I will sue you.
you will. You couldn't fucking sue a sausage. Let me tell you something now. Everything I say is fact.
No,
but
it's
you,
not.
yes, it
You're-
is. In this
That
interview,
lead promoter thing.
Yes,
Why do you think
because-
you were the lead
because
promoter?
ask the
Genuinely.
board.
Genuinely.
because when you do a show, there is a licensed
Ask-
promoter
yeah,
with the ball.
And if on everything that I saw, everything, it had both our names on.
No,
everything.
that's the commercial side.
No,
like posters and
even
stuff like
even
that.
the stuff with the board.
No. Ask
Let's ask
Ring
Robert Smith.
Magazine.
Let's ask
Yeah,
Robert
and
Smith.
ask Ring Magazine.
Let's ask Robert Smith.
Okay, and ask Ring
Yeah,
Magazine
we will ask for a magazine.
who was the lead
I'm
promoter.
happy to ask them.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
But I have to just keep because I watch all your interviews
It's
and I
so
just
petty.
think
It's so petty. You're going to make
But
me
we
look
love
as
it, mate.
stupid as you.
This is great.
you do a fucking great job of that, mate.
You're both all right with this interview going out? I just want to check now.
Yeah, you probably have to check because every time he does an interview, he has his man standing behind, tagging you, going, "No, stop."
No, that's not why he does that. That's for time restraint.
Oh, is it time?
It is. No, it generally is. I will say that is
I
for
don't
time.
mind it going out, but obviously,
Yes.
I don't mind it,
Lovely.
but I still think I can't believe you turn up on me like this. Outrageous.
so this is what you do.
Guys, enjoy the night. Live on the Zone. If you haven't tuned in already, click the link in the description to sign up for Canelo versus Skull. Ben, thank you very much.
This will never make it out.
It will. It's going out because it's getting uploaded right now.
I don't mind it going out.
All right,
I
okay,
think
good.
you made us both look petty arguing
Have
over who the
have
lead
you ever asked
promoter
him not to
was
put something out?
and who was the
Have you ever asked him not
first.
to put something out?
You've asked
Next question. Have you ever asked Kugan not to put a video out?
personally.
Oh my God.
Right.